Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today I'm reviewing Grimcutty, now streaming on Hulu. So Grimcutty is a new teen horror movie that just came out on Hulu, and it follows the story of a girl named Asha, and it focuses around this meme that is going around. It's kind of similar to a creepypasta involving like Slender Man or Momo or one of those things from the past, and this meme is coming to life, and it's created this Grimcutty challenge, and it's killing these children, causing them to cut themselves, kill their parents. Kind of stuff we've seen before in the past with these kind of movies. Like the other movies that have dealt with this kind of like pop culture phenomenon challenge stuff that we've seen before, it's not really well executed. It's really heavy-handed, and I have to say, this movie really skirts the line for being so bad that it's actually kind of entertaining. But like I said, the story is revolving around Asha and her family, and they start to find out, her parents in particular are starting to find out that there's this Grimcutty challenge that's going around the internet. It's causing children to hurt themselves, causing children to attack their parents, do like really bad things. So they decide that the only way that they're going to be able to stop this is to fully cut off everybody from having technology, being able to get on their computer, being able to get on their phone. They're definitely like super overreacting to it. And one of the themes in this movie, even though it kind of gets lost in the sauce a little bit, is that overreacting to it and feeding into this frenzy kind of creates this monster, gives it life, gives it energy, but it never really fully goes for that fact, because it also is kind of pointing out how people are influenced poorly by social media and how people are like affected by these things when it comes to anxiety and depression and mental illness and things like that. So I just feel like it really loses the messaging it's trying to go for. I don't know whether it's trying to tell me that social media is bad and it's really terrible, or it's telling me that if you overreact to social media, that's the terrible thing. So I feel like it kind of gets lost in its messaging. Creature itself, the Grimcutty that comes around, he shows up whenever people get all worked up about him. It looks really goofy. It looks almost like a B-movie type character. I get how it could be maybe creepy if you're like a younger teen that isn't used to like actual horror movies or really intense imagery. It's unsettling looking, but it doesn't look like anything we haven't seen before in the past. It very is reminiscent, like I said, of those older creepypastas like Momo or like Jeff the Killer or something like that. It just feels like this movie is really dated. It feels like it's something that maybe would have felt more relevant 5 to 10 years ago. Acting also is not fantastic. It's no fault of the actors, in my opinion, involved in this. It's just the writing. Like I said, it's really sloppy. It's really heavy-handed. I think there's a lot of overacting. I think there's a little bit of wooden acting. I think just overall this movie, the way things are playing out is so ridiculous, and the parents are so overreacting to everything and just going fully crazy. I get that it's a crazy situation. When you're watching the movie, there's a lot of weird stuff going on, but the parents just go off the full deep end, especially the father. And it never feels like there's a resolution, because I will have to go into some spoilers in this. So if you want to check the movie out and you don't want any spoilers involved, I would click off now, because I want to talk particularly about the end of the movie. So this whole movie, we're meant to believe that, the parents can't see this thing. Maybe it's not real. Maybe it's all in these kids' heads. Maybe it's being brought in just because of this mass hysteria. Even one of the characters kind of mentions that it shows up when the parents start to really freak out and creates this like anxiety around everyone and kind of brings this creature out. But then at the end, the father actually sees the daughter be picked up by this creature. Now, like, he can't see it, but he sees her physically being lifted off the ground, which makes us believe that this is a real entity, that it's really happening, which kind of undercuts what the movie's trying to say, because there's other moments in this movie where we go into this backstory about the woman who kind of created this whole hysteria about what this creature is, and kind of just brought it out of fabrication because she wanted to protect her child. She was like super overprotective and captured her kid and kept him in a closet because she thought the world was going to kill him, essentially. Kind of like the quintessential like overprotective helicopter parent. But then we learned that it's actually a real thing, and that maybe like the parents are right to not believe in it, or it's there's a lot of just like, there's a bizarre twist when it comes to how this story is being told. And I think the messaging, the acting, just the delivery of it just really gets lost. But the movie does have a little bit of an entertainment value. It's not a well-crafted film. I don't think it particularly hits on any hard notes, but it is just kind of ridiculous. It's a very consumable teen horror movie. I feel like if you like the Slender Man movie, you might like this one. It's just one of those throwaway, just ridiculous movies. So there were some fun moments, and like I said, the delivery of some of the lines and some of the actions that take place in the movie are actually just so absurd and ridiculous, like I said, especially with the parents, that it's almost fun to watch this movie. So I wouldn't recommend it as like a good movie, but I would maybe recommend it as something to check out if you just want like a goofy horror movie this Halloween season. So if I were to rate Grimcutty, I would give it a 2.5 out of 10. The only reason I don't give it any lower is because I do think it has some entertainment value for how ridiculous it is. Also, I think it has something at its core. It has an idea of what it wants to talk about, and I think it could have done it better and maybe explained social media and its influence and how parents can react to these things and viral things can get out of control and everything that goes along with that. But then, like I said, it kind of undercuts that multiple times in the movie. So yeah, I don't know. Definitely something, if you want to check it out, go ahead, but I would kind of recommend skipping this one. So again, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. And if you checked out Grimcutty, let me know what you thought about it. I would really love to find someone that really enjoyed this movie, because I don't see how, unless you're liking it purely because of how ridiculous it is, how you could really, really like this movie. But I always love to hear different opinions. Leave those comments down below. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.